This week, it's one dish using up veggies from the garden in a little bit different profile than normal. We're going to make some Cajun soup. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back to One Dish, Two Ways. I'm Sheila, and my husband Joe is behind the camera. And our channel, the purpose of our channel is because I switched to a whole food plant-based diet to cure my migraines, which is working. And Joe eats a standard American diet. And a lot of people think that that's too hard to do when you have two different ways of eating in a household. And we figured out it's really not that hard. And so we like to show you things that you can do that either you have one same base or you're going to eat the same dish. And this is one of those days that this is all Joe's idea. And he said, listen, it's cooled down a little bit. Let's make some vegetable soup. So that's what we're going to do. But we also have a garden just like most people do. Or maybe you've received items from a garden. You're like, I got to use up these veggies. How am I going to do it? And I'm going to give you like a base to make any soup that you want. And I brought out the slow cooker. You know, we haven't used the slow cooker much since we got an Instapot. But like Joe said, we got stuff we want to get done today. So we're going to start this now. And it's about 9:15 in the morning. And then hopefully by about 6 to 8 hours on low, this will be ready to go. So it's just going to be a play on the pasta e fagioli soup, but it's not pasta e fagioli because I've changed my mind. I didn't even talk to Joe about the seasonings I'm going to use because I'm sure he'll be fine with it. So let's just start building it. So whatever veggies you have that you need to use up, start chopping them up. Chop them in your food processor, chop them by hand, whatever you want. I have zucchini, onions, bell pepper, and carrots. And when I had the bell pepper, and then we saw a video about Cajun food, I thought, ooh, let's put some Cajun seasoning and make this like a Cajun soup. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to dump my 4 cups of veggies, any kind that you want, whatever you need to use up, put it in here. And I've got this is equal to 1 can of drained and rinsed beans. I'm part of a bean club, so honestly, I just remember I put on here that these were like pinto beans, but I don't remember exactly which beans these are, but they are cooked, and I'm just going to add them to the soup. So this equals 1 can. Now, pasta e fagioli generally has 2 cans of beans in it, but I'm not doing that today because I don't have only other kind I have is the garbanzo beans, and that's one bean that Joe's not a fan of. So that's what we're not going to do today. And then we need to add I decided you could add fresh tomatoes to this, but I've already used most of mine in other dishes. So I decided instead of having the chunks of tomato, which are not Joe's favorite, we're going to add a can of tomato sauce instead because he said he wanted a tomato-based vegetable soup. And then we're going to be able to serve this. And I like vegetable soups because then it can be like a starter for your meal. It kind of helps fill you up and then you eat your meal. And usually you tend to eat a little bit less. So let's add our can of tomato sauce in here. I guess you could add tomato soup if you had a can you needed to use up. And then my trick is, this is my 3 cups of vegetable broth. Make sure you pour the vegetable broth in here so that you can get all the residual tomato sauce. The reason it's hot is because I use I don't know if I have it over here. Until I finish it up and I make broth, I have the cubes, and so you make the broth out of the water. And so I find that if you heat the water up, it tends to melt the stuff a little bit better. It's this stuff here. The bouillon base veggie. Okay, but it did not do that totally. So let's add that in here. Oh my goodness. Now the one thing, so we went back and forth. We were like, do we want potatoes? Do we want rice? Do we want pasta? What is our starch going to be? And Joe said, oh, we've got these. Let's use these. And that's what made us think something like pasta e fagioli, because I can never say this. Ditalini or something. But this is the noodles we'll use. No, it's not whole wheat, but sometimes you got to use what you have in the cupboard, and that's what we're going to do instead of buying something else. So now let's add our seasonings to it. So I'm going to do a tablespoon of garlic powder. You could certainly use fresh if you have it. Whoop, that was a little too much. That was definitely heaping. And then I'm going to add what do you think? 2 or 3 tablespoons? I'm going to go Cajun this time.
Probably at least 3.
Okay, so we're going to add 3 tablespoons of the Cajun seasoning.
Not heaping.
No, not heaping. Cajun seasoning has a lot more stuff in it. So it could get too spicy. Actually, that looks pretty good. I'm going to add 2 and then I can add 3 at the end. Now, the one thing, so if you were adding potatoes, that was our original thought, you would put them in here right now. But we decided to use the noodles. You don't put the noodles in yet. The noodles will go in. We'll come back live and I'll show you when I put the noodles in. It's about 30 minutes before you're actually going to eat it. Otherwise, this is just going to disintegrate. So that's why you don't put the noodles in right away. So let's just stir this. Wow, this looks good, good, good. Let me push it up so you can see it. Or, oh, help if I didn't like spill it over. Wouldn't that be great? And there we go, folks. There is the start of our soup. So I'm just going to put the lid on it here. And we're going to start it on low. It will go for 6 to 8 hours. Now, I know if you're doing this when you work, that's not helpful because most of us are gone for 8 hours for our day. This is a Sunday, so we're home, so I will check it at the 6-hour mark. And if it's ready to go and we're close to eating, we'll come back on camera and I'll add the noodles to it. And then after 30 minutes of the noodles, we'll be ready to eat. So we'll see you back here in about 6 hours. Well, hello, everyone. It has been about 5.5 hours since we put the soup on, and it is looking fantastic. As you can see here, the veggies are nice and tender. The beans are tender. So I think it's time to actually add our pasta because it'll take another 30 minutes to cook. So let's go ahead and do that. So it will vary based on what veggies do you put in here and also how tender you like your veggies. If you like them super tender and you want it to go much quicker, chop them a little finer, turn it on high for 2 or 3 hours. If you like big chunky vegetables, do that and put them on low. Just kind of make it your own. So with this pasta, I'm going to put it says 1.5 cups. So this is a 1/2 cup measure. And I know a few are falling in there, so I'm going a little bit less. Oh, of course, we make a mess. Why would we not? Okay. So I'm going to stir this. There we go. Now, one helpful hint is it did say in the recipe, and I remember this from other things that I've done, that you do want to stir it a few times because otherwise sometimes the noodles tend to drop to the bottom and you don't want them to stick. So let me turn this around and show you. I still got it on low. I haven't turned it to high or anything. So I think you can see it that way. So we're going to do it to low and I'm going to start the timer and I'll come back when it's 30 minutes and we'll be able to try this. See you then. Hello. Okay, so what I did was after I added the pasta, I set a 15-minute timer and then I came over and stirred it. Set another 15-minute timer, and I just opened it up and turned it off, and this is what we have. Look how awesome that looks. Joe might say a little bit more liquid, and maybe when you go to warm it up, you would need it, but I think right now it's okay. So, but all that liquid, that extra liquid we had, the noodles obviously absorbed that to cook them. So we're going to give this a try. And Joe's going to have to tell me if you think we need another, because we only added the 2 tablespoons of the Cajun seasoning. So you're going to have to tell us if you think we want more. It definitely looks like the pasta e visual soup, but it does not smell like it. It's definitely not Italian. I don't think it smells Italian-ish. This is going to be hot. I mean, we literally unplugged it 2 minutes before we came on camera. Not long at all.
But it will need more liquid, I can see already, to make it a soup. I mean, nothing wrong with it flavor-wise.
Is that good? You like the Cajun take on it?
Oh, yeah. It's got a little bit of heat to it, but it's not burning at all. It's just, and you could do a lot of different things with this. I could technically, if we added a little bit more liquid to give it up, I could take my portion out, add some sausage or something to it. Mm-hmm. I could literally make it like a gumbo almost or something like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Or add the hamburger to it. And it would be almost identical to the pasta e visual, other than the flavor's a little different because of the seasoning, but everything else is right there. You could go so many different directions with this.
You really could. Oh, have mercy. This is really good. I don't think it needs more Cajun seasoning.
But this, the reason I mentioned it is because it's August, or just turned August, But we had this little cold spell. It's been hot as Hades for a while, but had this little cold spell. It got down to like 55, 56 overnight. And so I was like, man, a bowl of soup would be good, but we can eat what we want of this, put the rest of this in the freezer for this fall or winter or something, or take it camping with us. And this would be very easy to heat up. And it's very good just as it is. Like I said, it's got just a little bit of, do you taste the heat?
It's got just a little bit of kick. Like if you're eating food in New Orleans, it's just a little bit. Not much. And all I did use was this Cajun seasoning. Now, I did make the Cajun seasoning. I don't know if I've done that one on video. But it's got paprika, a little bit of cayenne pepper. It's not like it's got a lot in there at all. This is really good.
The beans are nice and cooked. The veggies are nice and cooked. And it's a good, right now, it's a perfectly good soup for eating. It's real thick and hearty, and the noodles are perfect for, you don't get those big stringy noodles. I really like these kind of noodles for soups and stuff.
So this was a success. So you make it your own. Put the veggies in you need to use. If you want to use beef or chicken broth instead of veggie broth, go for it. Whatever bean you want and whatever seasoning you want. Like I said, we used good old Cajun seasoning. So thank you all for so much for joining us, and let us know in the comments, would you be willing to try this? Have a good week.